Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today is Saturday, it's July 30th of 2022. We are down here in Arizona visiting our daughter to meet our new little granddaughter. So if it looks like we're in a little bit of a different place, it's because we are. And so I want to start off with, we have so many updates today, and I want to start off with what's going on with Carnival Cruise Line. So Carnival Cruise Line has followed suit of Royal Caribbean a little bit there, and as I announced a couple of days ago, Royal Caribbean is doing away with some of their pre-cruise testing, and so is Carnival now. Yesterday afternoon, they announced that if you are vaccinated and you are on a sailing that is 5 days or less, then you don't have to be tested before you sail. No testing. If you are unvaccinated, you go ahead and test as usual, and you get to have 3 days to do that. Along with that, for any sailings that are 6 days and longer, you have to do your testing as usual for vaccinated and unvaccinated people, okay? But they did say that along with giving you 3 days to do your test, they are no longer having any pre-cruise testing options available at the port. You just come with your test done, and you can do one that you have done at the lab or one that you do on your own, as long as it's proctored with those results. So that's the really big update from Carnival. Now, along with updates, I know that the cruise lines all have been talking about welcoming unvaccinated passengers on the ships again. When the cruise ship program that the CDC had been in charge of, when that went away, I think all of them went out of their way to make that comment in one form or other on their website, in their advertising. Just, I've seen it with all of them. But here's the whole thing with, and even I wanted to tell you on Princess's Cruise Line, on their website, they have like an FAQ, and they have their thing where they introduce and say how excited they are to welcome everyone on board. And then there's a question that says, if I'm not vaccinated, can I sail with you? And they say absolutely. So I just wanted to point that out, that is even that way with Princess. In conjunction with that, I have heard people saying that they are going to be welcoming, different cruise lines are going to be welcoming more unvaccinated passengers on board. Specifically, someone posted in the comments on my video for yesterday that Royal Caribbean has announced that now they are going to allow 20% unvaccinated passengers on their ship. And you know what? I can't find that anywhere. So I'm just asking for your help. If you know where that is from, would you send it to me? I have looked and read story after story and report after report, and I can't find that. So if you would let me know, I would really appreciate it. I know in their earnings call, when Royal Caribbean announced the change to the vaccinated people not having to be tested if they're on a voyage 5 nights or less, I know they said that they are going to be announcing more shortly. We're looking at, I think this next week or maybe into the next, about their protocols. And so we'll look forward to that. But if any of you can find that 20% thing, I would really appreciate it. Now, the next thing that I wanted to talk to you about is we think about all of these exemptions and everything that goes with that. I frequently get asked about how to get an exemption. So if you want an exemption from Princess, you just call them 1-800-PRINCESS, tell them why you want an exemption, and they tell you immediately if you get one or not. They keep a list for all of the sailings so they know how many exemptions they have granted and how many more they're able to do within that 10%. And so that's how they do it. If you're trying to get one for Royal Caribbean or like Celebrity, you have to send them an email. You outline why it is that you want an exemption, and include all of your booking information, your Captain's Club number, and everything to go with that. And you just email it to vaccineaccommodation@royalcaribbean.com. So there are different ways with the different cruise lines, and they don't tell you immediately. I should add that. They still say that they can tell you up to and including like 14 days before you sail. So they have a larger window there. So if you want to go sailing on someone and you want a quick answer, Princess is a really good option for that. But I wanted to make sure that everybody has an idea about that. And I do want to still point out that yesterday, as I talked a lot about the new requirement by Princess, just for that one sailing is all we've heard so far, that 16-night cruise that's round trip out of New York, and it goes to New England, Canada, and Greenland. That is the only cruise that departs from the US that we have heard about so far on Princess that asks people to please have that booster if you're eligible. Now, a lot of people, I've gotten emails and comments saying, well, we're not going to cruise with Princess again due to the booster request. And I get that. I think it's really important that everybody make their own way forward in this changing environment here that we have. But I also wanted to remind everyone that this summer has been over on sailings from the UK and from Europe. It has been very standard that a booster is required. The requirement there is by the EU is that if it has been more than 9 months since you received your initial vaccine, you need to have a booster, and that applies to everyone who is ages 18 and up. Okay, so on those sailings, if you don't have a booster, you have to ask for an exemption from it. So be very much aware of that. And I wanted to tell you all that so that you're aware as you book your cruises of what's required. And also at the same time, know that if you need an exemption, ask super fast, because they have a set amount that they can give out. And once they give them out, then you would be stuck. And so if you know you need an exemption, ask for it right away. If you're not sure if you need an exemption, you might want to call and ask so that you are sure of your situation. Okay, so that's all the serious things. A fun thing that I noticed, I was doing research for someone that's sailing on Royal Caribbean, and they love coffee. So you might be familiar or not, but Royal Caribbean on several of their ships has a standalone Starbucks, and so you would have to pay extra though. That was not included with any package or anything like that. You would just go buy it like you would if you were going into a regular Starbucks. But Starbucks has said that now on all of their ships, they have Starbucks coffee in their Cafe Promenade and in a couple of other venues on their ships. And that is included with a package that you would have that would include specialty coffees, okay? Now, when they still have a standalone Starbucks, like I know they have one on Wonder of the Seas, they offer way more than just their regular coffee that you would be able to get in the Cafe Promenade, okay? They still have lots more to choose from, and you can just pay separate for that. But I thought that that was valuable information for people that really enjoy that. So I just wanted to let you know about that. Another update that we have got is from the Crown Princess. Our Let's Go family member Frank sent me the story, and then I was trying to make sure about it, and I did find that it sounds like the engine troubles that the Crown Princess has been having that would slowed her down so much this season in Alaska are pretty much fixed. They're still waiting for a couple of other parts to come in, and then she'll be completely fixed. But the changes to her itineraries that have been announced just recently are much less severe than what they were having to change during the earlier part of the season. So I thought that was a step in the right direction. And then finally, we have a Let's Go family member that just is boarding the Majestic Princess up there in Whittier today, and they have been on a Princess Cruise tour for the last 7 days, and they said that they were not communicated with in any way about the change of the itinerary, because as you know, the Majestic Princess is one of the ships that is not going to be able to call in Skagway due to that rock slide there by the pier where she usually docks. And so I just wanted to let you know that if you are on one of those, I'm sorry to hear if you didn't get notified. I'm really trying to do a really good job of keeping everyone up to date. So if you haven't subscribed yet, you really should subscribe, because there is so much to stay up to date with right now in cruising. And I think that's not going to change. I think that's the way it's going to be going forward. So definitely subscribe, because we also need you, but that will really help you. And then in addition to that, if you have any updates, I'd sure appreciate if you share them with me, because that helps me get the word out to everyone. And if you are on any cruise ship, on any cruise line, I'd really like to hear from you. People are so happy when they receive word about what is going on the individual ships, and I thoroughly enjoy that as well. And so I hope that all of that helps. The last thing that I want to talk to you about is a little bit of a discussion, and I want to get your input on it as well. So I've been thinking a lot, and as Gordon and I were driving along yesterday, we had a long time to just visit and think about things. And so when we first started the restart, everyone had to do, show they were vaccinated, do the pre-cruise test, that's been like since we sailed on August 15th of 2021 on the Majestic Princess to Alaska, and it was like her third sailing to Alaska. Like that was marked the restart for Princess, and it was the first sailing that the pre-embarkation testing was required. And so that's how long it's been going. But also we had to wear masks indoors except for when we were eating or drinking. Now we've seen that masks have pretty much gone away, except for on every once in a while on certain cruises they're required, okay? Now I am wondering, so masks went away and then they come back as needed and then they go away and then they'll come back, I'm sure. So do you think that's what's going to happen with testing as we're seeing it loosen up a little bit? And I expect that they're just going to see how things go on these cruises, Carnival and Royal Caribbean are. And if things go really well, and same with the Viking and Virgin and Asmara and Margaritaville, if things go really well with not requiring that pre-cruise testing, they're just going to widen the window that you don't need that anymore on like Royal Caribbean and Carnival, and I'm thinking that the other cruise lines are going to jump on board. So do you think it's going to come back though if we have a particularly bad variant, or they go along and have a couple of cruises that have a lot more positive cases? And I would just like to know what you think. And the whole vaccine thing coming and going is a whole discussion that kind of goes with that. I wonder if that will come and go a little bit as things change down the road. So let me know what you think. I love to cruise. I love to travel. And so I am pretty devoted to doing what I need to do to be able to do that. And so, but everybody is different. And everybody needs to decide for themselves, because that's what makes everybody happy. And so I would just really like to know what you think. And the other thing that I think that's going to go with that is I am really wondering is if we move forward, that the COVID protocols, whether it's the testing, the vaccine on different cruise lines, I'm wondering if they're going to stay a little bit different. And then people will choose the cruise line that they want to cruise on based on what those protocols are. Just kind of like now, sometimes people cruise for a certain ship or a certain itinerary or certain entertainment, if COVID protocols will be another thing on the list that kind of determines who you cruise with. And so I'd like to hear what you think about that too. So like I said, if you haven't subscribed yet, we would love to have you with us. So hit that subscribe button and it will help you too. And also give this video a thumbs up if you appreciate these updates. And if you've got any questions or updates, I'd sure appreciate them in the comments. I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.